When visiting Copenhagen, there's a lot of noise on the internet on what you should see and what you shouldn't see. So let's take the introductory walk, the walk you need to walk the first time you're here. If you're here for a very short while, it is also a great walk. Or if you have just landed and want to explore the city, then this will give you a short introduction to the must-see things in Copenhagen. And what better place to start than the center of Copenhagen with the Copenhagen City Hall. It was designed by the famous architect Martin Nyhavn and inaugurated back in 1905. So it's a little over 100 years. And a fun little detail that most people overlook is that at each end of the City Hall you will see two polar bears, one in each end. Make sure to look out for it. It symbolizes the strong ties with the protectorates we have in Greenland. It is the Danish protectorate of Greenland that is symbolized by these two polar bears. So the bond is actually much stronger than it sometimes appears. And the town hall is a symbol of the pinnacle of romantic architecture here in Denmark. And if you look up at the facade, you will see the statue of Absalon, one of the most notable bishops in Danish history. Stop right behind me is the new Carlsberg Glyptotek. I will review it in another episode, but for now know that this is a sculpture museum that holds the private collection of Carl Jacobsen. Carl Jacobsen, the son of the founder of the Carlsberg breweries. The museum contains over 10,000 sculptures. Yeah. It has sculptures from all over, from the Mediterranean, from the Central Europe and Northern Europe. So it has a wide array of sculptures. Furthermore, there's this little garden inside that is definitely worth a visit, and you can enjoy your coffee there, which we will do in another episode. So make sure you're subscribed and have clicked that bell notification icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And for now, let's head to the next spot.
I'm in a hole, just waiting for my momentary strike.
Our third stop is the Danish National Museum right behind me. This museum is the largest museum in Denmark recounting the Danish identity. It covers 14,000 years of identity, from the ancient Ice Age reindeer hunters over the Vikings to modern age. It is all encompassed in this museum, where you can see the Danish identity develops. How it is formed, what has made the ground for the city you're walking in today, and made the groundworks for the entire nation of Denmark. And let's head on to our next stop. One thing I forgot to tell you before we move on is that in the National Museum they assist the Greenlandic people by having the Greenlandic National Institute under their administration, which also makes that they have a lot of exhibitions about Greenland in there. But they help uncover all the archaeological research that is done in Greenland, because it's an endeavor that requires a lot of expertise, which they have here, and they borrow it to the Greenlandic people. So let's head on, because it's right up the road that our next stop is. We have reached the Christiansborg Palace. It is where royalty had presided. It is where the Danish democracy has its main seat. It is definitely a place you should stop by when you are in Copenhagen. This castle is the third castle to be here. The first castle can actually be seen in the subterranean basement of Christiansborg, so head in and see it. It's definitely worth seeing. But the first castle was built by the city founder, Bishop Absalon. It was built back in 1167, so yeah, there's been a castle here since 1167, where the Copenhagen was founded back then. So yes, you're walking in an old town, and this castle has so much history. And write down in the comments if you want me to dive deep down into the history, because there's a lot of things to explore and it is not in the scope of this video. And let's head further on to the next stop.
Then press the other way on Pharaoh's fury way.
Copenhagen has a lot of statues, but fountains, well, a few of them, and that's why the Stork fountain is, well, an eye catcher, because there are so few of them here. It is placed here on Amager Square. Amager, the island which you can walk directly out to by walking that way from where I'm standing now. It was originally given to Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Louise for their 25th anniversary back in 1894. So it has been here for quite a while, and it symbolizes the stork's mid-flight in the middle of delivering babies, at least if you believe the Christian Andersen's tale from 1838. And let's move on, because I have a few more things to show you before we have gotten the introduction tour completed. We have reached the King's New Square. This square was established by King Christian V back in 1670. Originally this was outside the city walls, but King Christian V had an idea, a vision, that was inspired by the royal squares in Paris. So this is a bit of Paris been taken to Denmark. Right off the side you will find the Royal Danish Theatre, and stick with me, I have something special to show you over there. But this square was originally a busy hub filled with commerce, filled with people. Today it's still filled with people, not that many commerce, but people. Right off to one of the sides you also have Strøget, the Danish main shopping street. Definitely worth a visit to find those name brand stores you are looking for, or just to browse the other shops that are down there. But let me show you that special thing. Right off to the side of the Royal Danish Theatre, you will find this beautiful ceiling. It is so overlooked by most tourists, but it is definitely worth coming by here. The pictures on the ceiling is inspired by what you are looking at if you walk into one of the buildings on either side. It is inspired by the performing arts. So make sure that you stop here, take a look at it, because the camera doesn't do it justice. And let's head for the next spot. We have reached the new harbor. Of course, this is a great place for walking today with all the restaurants, but originally this was a working dock. A dock where ships came in with supplies for Copenhagen. It has transformed so much over the decades. It is definitely worth a visit, and if you want to see more interesting places, then you should think you will like this video. So check it out right now, and I'll be seeing you right over there.